Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new Airsoft video. Now today, before we jump in, I want to say another big thank you. We have just broken through 90,000 subscribers, so we are now well on our way to 100,000 subs. So once again, thank you for your constant support. But today we're going to take a look and be testing out the Tippmann Arms M4 HPA setup. Now this weapon was provided to me by the awesome guys down at JDAirsoft, so of course if you would like to find out any more about this weapon, or of course pick one up yourself, all the links will be in the description below. Now for any of you guys who are unfamiliar with Tippmann, they're a US based paintball company, and this M4 is their first attempt at an airsoft platform. Now the weapon itself is a gas blowback system and comes with a CO2 mid-cap magazine in the box, but as you can see here, we were running a HPA system through the pistol grip of the weapon. Now running high pressured air over the likes of CO2 or green gas has lots of advantages. There's no cooldown period, it's not affected by weather, so if you're running in the cold, you're not going to see a dip in performance. There's a lot more consistency because of course it's all coming from a high pressured tank. Of course, one of the disadvantages to this is you do have to carry around a HPA tank on the back of your kit. But of course, this then does have the advantage you can run any magazines you want. Mid-caps, high-caps, AEG magazines. So as you can see here, I was running my brand new PTS EPM mid-caps. Now, if you're interested in running a pretty realistic setup, I've got to say there's not much more you can get in terms of realism than running a gas blowback HPA setup with a lot of noise, recoil, and of course, alongside mid to low cap magazines. Now as you can hear there straight away, this weapon is very satisfying to fire. It's got a nice crisp crack sound as it fires. There's a nice bit of recoil, not too much that it's bouncing you off your shots and off your accuracy, but enough to give you that real sense of firing. Now of course, with a Tippmann you can actually put a third party heavy bolt in which will increase that recoil, but it will also up your FPS, and I have heard some reports it can over time damage the weapon. So personally, I wouldn't recommend one, but if you do want that extra kick and extra recoil, it is there as an option.
His mate's blocking the... Oh, both of them down, both of them down. Heads!
Now one of the first questions I want to address, which I've been asked a lot since I've been running this setup, is the HPA line from the tank not annoying, dragging that around on the weapon? Now I have to say, I hardly notice it. If you already run a sling on your weapon and have it constantly attached to your body, having that extra little cable going from the pistol grip is hardly noticeable. It's quick release, you can take it off very quickly, it's long enough so you can fire left and right-handed without any issues, and if you took it through your body armor correctly, you should hardly ever get it snagged on anything. So overall, you basically don't even notice you have that line there if you're already used to carrying your weapon on a sling. Now one of the other questions I frequently get asked is it not annoying carrying around a HPA tank on your kit? Now of course that is all down to the size of the tank you're carrying. The bigger the tank, the more shots you get. Now I'm currently using a 3000 PSI tank which gets me around 2 to 2,500 shots, or there or thereabouts. Now I have to say, I basically don't even notice it's there. As soon as the game starts and I'm running around, the weight isn't very noticeable. Now that is probably because I already carry quite a lot of weight on my kit. I usually do have a full hydration unit on my backpack, so switching that out for a gas tank is a pretty comparable weight. But I have to say, it definitely shouldn't be something that puts you off the system. It isn't very heavy, and once you're playing, you definitely will forget about it.
He's down. He's very down.
Now today's video was all filmed down at Swap Fortress in Liverpool. Another question I often get asked is, where do you play? This is my local site. If any of you guys are interested in playing Swap Fortress, the links to the website and the Facebook page, probably more likely the Facebook page is what you want to visit, it's more active, is down in the description below.
Not kill.
Now because of course this is a gas blowback and HPA setup, there's no real moving internals, there's no gears, there's no motors, so in that sense there is a lot less maintenance that is needed, but I will say overall you probably will need a better understanding of airsoft weapons, especially GBBRs, to maintain one of these pieces of kit. Of course you have seals, you have valves, you've got lubrication to keep this weapon up and running. Now out of the box I have to say some of these things do need tweaking. The hop unit on these guns isn't the best in the world. You can get some real good third-party hop units for this to increase the range and that accuracy. The main issue with this weapon I have to say is definitely the range. Now I've used this weapon for quite some time now, you have seen it in some of my Milsim videos, I've ran it at skirmishes, and as I've been running it in, of course this was brand new out the box, the range has slowly been increasing, so I think I'm kind of working in the hop. Eventually it's now starting to produce the kind of range and accuracy I'd hoped for. But as I said, if you do understand your airsoft maintenance, you can switch out those nubs and those hop-ups very easily to get this running how you want.
In this room.
Yeah.
Come on. Wait there, wait there.
He's dead.
Now one of the other great features of this weapon is because it is gas blowback, it does field strip much more like a real weapon rather than AEG. And once you've got it open, you have easy access to the bolt. As I said, you can switch that for a heavy bolt. You can also, by literally just turning an Allen key, you can increase the rate of fire. Now of course, because this is a gas blowback weapon, it does have a slower rate of fire than your standard AEG. You can go between about 8 and 15 rounds per second, which is again a much more realistic rate of fire to a real M4. And again, by just twitching a little Allen key, you can also increase or decrease your FPS very easily. Now I have to say, overall, when I first got my hands on this piece of kit, it felt good, it looked awesome. Of course, that recoil and that sound was very satisfying, but there were some disadvantages. The range wasn't very good, but as I said, over time and with some improvements, you can definitely sort that out. I definitely prefer this weapon as a HPA system. I would not want to run this with CO2, having to replace those little bulbs every time with a new magazine. But as a HPA setup, I am enjoying this weapon. It's very quick to refill. There's no real disadvantages to running HPA. I don't mind the tank, I don't mind the line. Don't mind the tank, I don't mind the line. So you'll definitely be seeing more of this weapon on the channel in the near future. And as I said, if you want to see more of it yourself, all the links to JDAirsoft are in the description below. And of course, if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and leave all your further comments and questions down there. I will try and answer as many as possible. But in the meantime, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.